Yo, boys, back with another video. I know it's been 5 days, but we're back, and we're gonna be pumping out these tier lists because PvP's coming out. I'm leveling my characters. We're getting stuff done, but the channel's mainly gonna be focused on guides and tier list. Obviously, I'm gonna have gameplay as well, but just the difference is so extreme that it's like, I can get a loyal community going, and I already have a loyal, but I can even get a more loyal. So like. I'm kind of just focusing on just pumping out these tier lists, pumping out these guys, and that's pretty much that. We will have a sub-rogue guy coming out when PvP comes out, so anybody waiting for that, that's going to be coming out. But that's pretty much that. And before we start this video, if anybody on Cataclysm, on Benediction, on Alliance has gold that I'm willing to sell carries. I've already got the boost ready. I've gotten everything set up. So anybody that has gold on there, hook me, message me, we'll get it done, and I will give you coaching, carries, or something like that. I'll give you a free bracket or just a couple hours. It just depends on how much gold you got. But that's pretty much that. Let's get on to the video here. These are going to be RBGs, and we're going to get it done right now. So, a few things have changed. Not really, honestly. It kind of is. It's a little bit. We'll see here. So, first class we're going to be going over is going to be HPAL. HPAL is going to be almost unplayable. I'm going to put it probably at C tier. For now, it's probably, yeah, I don't know. I don't think you're going to see a single HPAL. I just think they're super bad AoE. Their cooldowns are just kind of bad. Like, even on fly carrier maps, I mean, they have sack, but they can't bop. They can't do really much. Obviously, they have land hands, but they're just not the best right now, unfortunately. Next one that we're going to be going over is going to be Ret Paladin, which again is not going to be very good. Um, it's been struggling, and I'm not really sure what the main issue is with Ret Paladin. I couldn't tell you. I haven't played a rat in a very long time, but basically what I'm hearing and seeing, it can maybe be low A just because it's A. I just don't think it's that good. Even with its AOE, it's gonna get absolutely just focused and it's gonna die. It's just not that good, to be honest. Next one that we're gonna be going over is gonna be Prop Paladin, which is pretty much gonna be terrible. You're not gonna see these. You don't want to play this. Next one that we're gonna be going on is going to be DK. So Unholy DK is going to be A tier. You want that grip. So having that grip and A bomb to grip everybody in just to do maximum damage is going to be nice. Now, they could be S tier just because you want a Unholy DK in your lobby, even if they're not the greatest, like they're not one-shotting everything. DK is, I actually say, S tier. I think having an Unholy DK in your RBG group is almost needed, unless you're playing like some like you know four boomies, two rogues, or something like that, and you're just like I don't know yeah, I think honestly, I think you want a DK in every single RBG, just one of them, and it's gonna be unholy because they're gonna have insane AOE output and they're gonna have A bomb grips for your team. I think they're needed, to be honest. I think just having one DK is insanely nice. Next one that we're gonna be going over is Blood DK again. I actually put it at C tier just because it's okay. Again, you're not really gonna see these at high rated, so I'm not really sure you can make it work, but it's not gonna be very good. And Frost DK is going to be A tier. Again, you want a DK on your group. Whether it's Frost or Unholy, Frost is still going to be really good. It's going to have insane burst output, obviously, but its overall damage won't be the greatest. But its grip and, its grips are just going to make it automatically good. And that's kind of how DK is. Next one that we're going to be going over is going to be Rogue. Sub Rogue is going to be, where is it? Sub Rogue, where you at? Here it is. It's going to be S tier. You want a sub rogue on your team. Now the thing is, if you have a sub rogue on your team and you're on a flag carrier map or something like that, or like a team fight map, it's always good to. The thing is, you can't really switch specs like you can, So yeah, it's gonna be S tier. It's gonna be really good. Just gonna be good for hitting fly carriers and being able to do a bunch of things. Go hitting bases with a boomy. You want a sub rogue on your team 100%. And again, the other spec that you want is gonna be a SAS. The same exact thing. Having a rogue on your team, and especially that they do damage, like they have really good output, So if you get in a team fight map, they're able to actually control and do things that, are pretty good. Sub Rogue's doing really good right now. It's able to shadow, it'll kill something. It's obviously not Shadowlands good, where it's like, it's actually like, if you look at my old Shadowlands videos, because we've only been doing WoW content for 3 years. It's only been 3 years. So, yeah, I think Assassination is great, and that's pretty much that. Outlaw Rogue is just going to be terrible. I doubt you'll see a single one. Actually, I'll put it at B tier only because of its grapple or whatever. I don't know what it's called, but you can get across the map and hit bases so quick. The problem is you can't actually kill anything. So I don't think it's going to be very good. Sure, it can be good for hitting bases, but that's literally the only reason. And I mean, just having a rogue in general is good, but I still don't think it's going to be. I think it's going to be trash. I don't think you're going to see this. Next fight that we're going to be going over is going to be Shaman. Resto Shaman is going to be actually okay. It's not going to be the best. It's not going to be S tier, but I think honestly, it's going to have okay healing output. It's going to have your Earthen's going to do a lot of healing. But overall, I don't think it's going to be the greatest, but I don't think it's going to be the worst. Enhancement Shaman is a weird spec right now. Now, currently, right now, I think they're A tier. Only because if you guys have seen their output, they are literally doing unheal. Like, their burst damage is literally almost like one-shotting people. For example, if you've seen Super T's video, which is basically what I'm basing this off of, they do a lot of burst, and I mean a lot. Obviously, they're going to be getting nerfed most likely because they are broken. But so this is like the first time you may want to enhance in your group just due to the fact that these guys are not only going to be able to one-shot the flag carrier, but just having these guys in team fight, they're going to just go in and absolutely farm. They're going to be hitting unhealable damage, especially if you're calling out, yo, go this guy. He goes that guy with burst, you get him down to 70%, dead. They're gonna die quick, but I think they're gonna be solid. Honestly, I believe it. Ellie is gonna be in the same spot. Overall, you're just doing a good amount of damage, and even though it's not like how it was, I think it's still okay. I think it's good enough to be A tier for now, just due to the fact that it can do a lot of damage and AOE damage, especially once it gets rolling. Once it gets its flame shots on everybody and it starts just throwing out meatballs, and getting it done. I think it's gonna be pretty solid. At least I don't think it's gonna be the best. Again, this could also be like here, just due to the fact that you're gonna struggle getting a bunch of these flame. But like once you get it rolling, I think it's gonna be pretty good. I think you'll see a okay amount of these guys. Next fight that we're gonna be going over is going to be Mage. Fire Mage is going to be B tier, not very good, just kind of terrible, and that's pretty much that. I don't see it being very good. They buff Pyroblast, but again, these guys are going to die insanely quick, and their combustion's not going to do any damage. Fire Mages they treated Fire Mages really wrong, and they have been for like the entire expansion. It's actually crazy. Like they made Fire Mage into an AOE build because people PvE, and that's all Blizzard cares about. The next fight that we're going to be going over is Frost Mage. I honestly think even if it got nerfed, it's still doing pretty good damage, and just its orb and overall damage is actually going to be pretty good. So it's still going to do damage. When you face these guys, they're going to be doing damage. Are they going to be like S tier good? Nah, probably not. But they're pretty good. They're not bad at all. Next fight that we're going to be going over is going to be, where is it? Arcane. Arcane, same spot. Honestly, I think Arcane's actually better than I thought it was, but I think it's probably towards low tier. So as of now, I'm actually gonna put it high B. People think this spec is like God tier. I don't think it is personally. Even with this, I don't know what the big orb that they throw at people. I still don't. I don't think it's enough to like. Oh yeah, this is gonna be insane. I just don't think you're gonna see. I honestly don't think you're gonna see many of these like at all, and nobody's gonna be playing this spec. That's just how I think about it. Next spec that we're gonna be going over is going to be Warrior, Arms Warrior. Now, Arms Warrior is it's kind of in a weird spot. I think honestly, right now, I think Warrior is probably high A. I'm trying to think here. The thing is, I feel like you want a Warrior in every lobby. I honestly believe that. Like, I swear, I honestly believe you want an Arms Warrior in every single lobby, just because you're getting huge MS, and they're just they're target callers. Everything that you benefit with Arms Warrior no matter what team you play on. They're going to be great in team fight, and that's pretty much how I think about that. Now, Fury Warrior is kind of different. They're going to die pretty quick. The problem is they're doing an insane amount of output. So right now I'm gonna put it as like high A, like around like that top, just because it's overall pressure right now. Like if you watch Mud's video, he is absolutely just destroying people. So honestly, I just don't know if I want to put that S tier because it's gonna die super quick, but it's gonna have insane output. Right now I'll put it at high A, but again, this could easily be S tier, and you could easily see a lot of these. I just don't think you're gonna see that many at like over 1800 or something around there. Mainly because Arms Warrior is just even if Arms Warrior isn't as broken, it's just you always see them. They benefit you no matter what. That's a factual statement. I think Arms is definitely better than Fury for RBGs. That's just my opinion, I guess. Next fight that we're going to be going over is Tank. You're never going to see these guys. Let's be honest. We kind of went over this. This is just you have no mobility. You pretty much your cooldowns are okay, but like not consider. It's just not going to be that great. Next fight that we're going to be going over is going to be Pharaoh Druid. Pharaoh Druid is going to be in the same spot as Outlaw. You can obviously hit bases with this, but at the same time, you have bleed pressure and stuff, and you're able to actually kill something, and that's the reason it's probably a little bit better. But are you going to see these guys often? You're not. That's just how it is. Pharaoh Druid, and these classes usually aren't that good. The only class that's usually good in this order right here is Ret, and that's just because it does insane AoE damage. But right now, it's just not very good. They haven't really paid attention to it much. Next spec that we're going to be going over is going to be Tank Druid, which is going to be one of the highest that you can play. So Tank Druid is going to be great. You pretty much will see one of these. You'll either see this or you'll see a DH. Just one of the two, or they're just really good, and I don't see why you wouldn't want to play that. So that's just that. Next one that we're going to be going over is Boomy. Same thing, S tier. You have CC. You're going to be hitting bases with your sub rogue or your rogue. You have Cyclone spams, which is one of the highest, CCs that you can have. Every other CC got nerfed. Cyclone is still the same, which is insane because it's spammable. So being able to root beam a healer, cyclone another healer, spam cyclones, starfall, you're basically just spamming cyclone while your AoE damage just does the damage for you. It's actually insane. And Boomy, you're always gonna have one Boomy. You're always gonna have usually a warrior or a DK and a rogue. All these you'll see in almost every single lobby. I guarantee it. People are gonna be salty about warrior, but I guarantee it. That's gonna be like the most played right here in RPGs, as far as right now. Next bet that we're going to be going over is going to be Evoker, which is actually really good, surprisingly. I think it's going to be S tier, and it does insane output right now, not only in arenas, but I think in RBGs, I think it's actually going to be good. I think the best healer comp in RBGs is going to be, well, there's going to be four, but I'm going to say the three. Mistweaver, Evoker, and Disc Priest. And now if you want to trade the Disc Priest out or trade the Evoker out, get a Rested Druid. That's your four healers right there that are going to be the most insane. Me and my brother are going to be queuing. He's queuing Rested Druid. I'm queuing Sub Rogue. I already have a team ready that, are X heroes and stuff. So we're chilling. We're going to have RBG content coming out ASAP. But that's pretty much that. Next one that we're going to be going over is going to be Dev Evoker. Now, Dev Evoker is kind of in a weird spot. And I'm tempted to put it like where DK is. So I'm going to say it's going to be A tier just because it does an insane amount of burst. But again, I can't say enough about it because it's gonna die pretty quick like a Frost DK. But again, it's gonna have really good output. It's gonna be really good for hitting EFCs, and that's the only reason I'm putting it there. And then Aug is also surprisingly, I actually underestimated Aug. I thought it was worse than I thought it was terrible, but actually it actually benefits so much because its AoE capabilities are actually really good. Like surprisingly, because it has I don't know what the ability is, but they basically can just hit something that AoEs everything and it does a lot of damage to everything. So, you're not gonna see these in every lobby, but honestly, I think if somebody is good and they play AUG, I think they're gonna actually pump, and I think they might be useful. These are gonna be low though. I think Frost DK, Dev, and AUG, and maybe like Frost Mage. These are gonna be low. These are guys you're gonna see way more than these. But just keep that in mind. These are low. These four specifically. These could easily be B tier, but I'm gonna put them A tier just because they're really good right now. And they're that's how I feel about that. And this is not in order. I'm not saying Frost Mage is better than DK. I'm not saying, Dev is better than AUG. I'm just putting these in low. Keep that in mind. People don't listen to my video and then they're like, well, you put AUG at A tier. Like, just calm down, buddy. Next one that we're going to be going after is going to be Priest, Holy Priest. Going to be in the same category, not very good, terrible. Only has really solo healing, and it doesn't have any defensive cooldowns. It's useless. Same thing as HBOW. Now, Disc Priest is going to be S tier. Now, again, it's not going to be doing an insane amount of healing or nothing, but I think you're going to see a Disc Priest in almost every single lobby. Their overall capabilities and their defensives are going to be so useful for your team that I think, you're going to want at least one of these. And if you don't have one of these, then you want to have the, Arrestor. Again, Mistweaver, Presevoker, Disc Priest is probably going to be your best comp to play, and then switch out the Presevoker for the Wrestler Druid, and that'll be again, right now, very good. But that's pretty much that. Next fight that we're going to be going over is going to be SP. I don't think it's going to be very good. I haven't seen much about SPs. It's just they really just haven't done anything about it. And sure, it may be able to be where AUG is, but like AUG just has insane. These can do a lot of burst and a lot of AOE damage. Where SP is kind of just like, oh, I can put bleeds on everybody, but yeah, a Mistweaver is gonna mass dispel that every 1 minute, and that's not going to be very fun to just re-put your bleeds on just for them to get dispelled anyway. So it's just not going to work out. Next one that we're going to be going over is going to be Hunter. Survival Hunter is going to be in the same category. It could maybe be low A tier. The only reason I'll put it at low A is because its AoE capabilities. Just because it's bombed and you're actually going to do really good damage as Survival Hunter, I think. But I don't know if I want to put these at A tier. I don't know. These four are just kind of sketchy. It's kind of hard to say where they're at. But if I put them at B tier, where these guys are, would it really be fair when these guys have insane AoE damage? When these guys kind of just the only AoE spec right here would be like maybe Arcane and Ret, and these just aren't very good. So I'm not gonna really go. I'm just not gonna do it. Again, past this is gonna be low. This is like middle, and this is top tier. Just because they're broken, you guys will. I promise you, you will see them doing unhealable damage. Next fight that we're going to be going over is going to be Windwalker. I honestly don't think it's going to be good at all. It doesn't really have AoE damage. Sure, its fist is great, but overall, it's just not gonna. You're gonna die insanely quick just to hit one person. It's not gonna be fun. You're gonna get perma CC'd on your. It's not gonna work out. I promise you. You can make it work, but is it gonna be working? And you're gonna see these guys. You're gonna log on and have fun. Yeah, probably not. Not in RPGs. Next spec, we're going to be going over Mistweaver. Mistweaver, boom, gonna be S tier. Insane AoE healing, revival, and insane cooldown. The orb got buffed by 30%, so now their orbs actually, it should be really insane now. So they're getting healing, they're getting pretty good defensive cooldowns, they're getting mobility. If they pick up the flag, they can port while they have the flag. So put the flag at the. So what they do is they put the flag on top of the tunnel on Warsong Gulch or whatever you want to call it, and they'll go in there. They'll put the port at the top, and then they'll run down to bait everybody, and then they'll port up. That's what a lot of people do, and you literally end up getting literally across the map for free because they're all chasing you in the tunnel, port above you. It's insane. I don't know if any of you have seen that, but I've seen it plenty. Tank Monk is going to be probably not very good, honestly. Not right now. I think it's terrible. I think maybe, low rated, sure, just if you need a tank, get it. But are you going to want it? No. You're not going to, openly, look for this at all. Next spec that we're going to be going over is going to be Wrestler, but again, is going to be S tier. These are your 4 healers in RBGs. These are the top healers. If you can get one of these, and you're good. You just want one of these, 3. So you want, if you want a Mistweaver, if you want a Wrestler, and you want a Presevoker, great. You're going to get insane healing output, but if you want to switch the disc for the Presevoker or disc for the Wrestler, that'll be perfectly fine. But that's pretty much your 4 healers that are right now. Now I think disc is probably a little lower than these 3, just because its healing isn't as good as these. But your defensives and everything at their disc freeze is so insane. You just have so much cooldowns. It's actually just dumb. Next one that we're going to be going over is going to be DH. DH is going to be in the same category as around DH. or around enhancement shaman. It may be a little bit better just because it has really good AoE. So, um, I think it's gonna be high A. Like it's gonna be World Fear Warrior. So like these are gonna do a lot of damage. But right now, I don't think DH is as good as Fury. But I think just its AoE and its overall like using your eyeballs to find stealthies. That's a really good OP thing to have. I don't think you guys understand how broken. If you have an add-on that tells you where they are and you use the eyeball, you can literally preemptively stop somebody from hitting a base. DHs do it to me all the time. And RBGs or whatever I'm trying to hit a base, they'll sit back and they'll wait for me, and then they'll eye me out and literally just hit. Like it's insane. Like a good DH is insane. Next one that we're gonna be going over is Destro Warlock. Destro, as far as I know, it's not that good in RBGs. It did get buffed. I don't know where I want to put it. I'll put it at A tier, low A, like medium A, where these guys are. Sure, I don't know how good it's gonna be, but I don't think you're gonna openly look for these. You'd just much rather have a Boomy at this point. Like Boomy's gonna counter all these casters pretty much. It's just how it is. Boomy's just that strong. It's insane. But I think it's still good. Having being able to put a portal on the ground and port them down and then knocking them off. That can literally win you the entire team fight. So it's actually pretty insane. But yeah, I don't think you're gonna be like, oh, I Destro Lock. We need a Destro Warlock. You're not gonna be like that. Next spec we're gonna go for is going to be Tank DH, which is your secondary heal or secondary tank. Now I think honestly, if you have a good DH, a DH is probably better because you can actually like maneuver like it's insane how much just mobility you have. It feels like you're faster and you're just hopping around the entire map. They'll be trying to chase you. You're just running around in a circle. It just feels insane. But between these two, this is your top two tanks. Otherwise, just flag carry with a boomy, or even like pick a flag up with a Mistweaver and pour it up, and you can actually make it work. I've seen people do it. I think people can agree that Mistweaver tanking, obviously not as a full-time job, but I think honestly it's not. It's actually not bad, surprisingly. Next one we're gonna be going with is Affliction Warlock. Now Affy, gonna be the same category really. Um, these aren't in order pretty much. If I was to put them in these in order real quick, actually I'm not even gonna put them in order because they're all just equally pretty much the same. They're okay. You're really not gonna see them. The only one that I could put down is maybe Og, but I think this is fine. I think cut these off. Affy, Destro, Frosty K, Devoker, Og, and Survival are kind of just you'll see them randomly, but I don't think they're like gonna be a top tier. I think honestly, enhance is the only acceptable thing is it does unhealable damage. And I think if you have a good target caller or you're a good DH and you're going ham, I think and especially like EFCs, you're gonna absolutely go in there and pop every CD with Berserk or something and absolutely one shot them. It's gonna be the funniest thing when you see this. They're gonna do unhealable damage, and honestly, I believe it. I'm putting my trust in it. So anybody that's salty about this, I don't even care. I'm just saying. Next one we're gonna be going with is gonna be BM, which is gonna be terrible. Not very good. It doesn't have AoE, and that's pretty much that. My dog is snoring in the back. I don't even know if you can hear it, but we're finishing up this video anyway. I don't want to wake her up. Next one that we're going to be going over is going to be Demo Lock, which again is going to be terrible. Doesn't really have any AoE capabilities, doesn't really have any usefulness, and you're not going to win a Demo Lock ever. And these are not in order. Again, these are not in order. So don't just, oh, Holy DK is better than Subrogue. Please do not look at them in order because I do not do that. I just put them in S tier and I'm not saying they're equally as good, but they're in S tier. If they're in S tier, it means they're good and you're gonna see them. That is it. Keep that in mind because some people get salty, but I don't even care. You keep watching for a reason, ladies and gentlemen. Next one that we're gonna be going with is MM Hunter. Now, MM Hunter, let's think about this. What are the benefits to MM Hunter? Hitting a base, hitting a flag carrier, you know, sitting a base. I think I already said that. But right now they're not the greatest, but I think honestly, it's kind of hard to put this here. Like I could put it where Survival Hunter is. Do we want to put MM in B tier, which is what I'm testing out? Because the thing is, if you use that logic, the only reason I think MM would be better than these is because it can sit a base. like you can put a pet out, sit it, and then you can sit far range, and you're able to actually hold a base. Because obviously you're not going to really be in the team fight. You're either going to be hitting a base with the rogue, just going in stealth, or you're going to be hitting flag carriers, which is what this is the whole purpose of this. Hitting flag carriers and on orb maps, being able to absolutely delete somebody from max range in stealth with like a rogue or something, just hitting in the back, doing a lot of things. That sounded really sus, hitting in the back. But this is my tier list, ladies and gentlemen. Again, this is kind of hard to put in a category because there's a lot of uses to it. So I'm gonna put it at low A just because of it can do pretty much everything. Obviously, it's not as good as the Boomy and it's not as good as the Rogue, but this is my tier list. Hopefully, I got some things right. This is just my opinion. I don't know until we actually get in the RPGs. We start getting two sets. We start getting everything we need. After that, that's pretty much that. That's when we'll know. So, appreciate you guys watching. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And remember, if you have Cataclysm Gold on Benediction, hit me up. I'm down to give you carries or coaching because I'm trying to. I have an 80 HP, but now I need him to. I'm not even gonna level. I'm not even bothering. I'm actually gonna boost level, and I already have like 5K. But just message me on my Discord or in the comments, and I'll get whatever. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. It's been X, and we are back with another tier list, and we're going to be doing more in the future. So stay tuned because we're doing tier list after tier list after tier list every single day. Even when it's out, we're going to be doing them. So be prepared. No more waiting. We're going to be going out. The next one's either going to be solo shuffle, it could be arena, it could be Battleground Blitz, it can be world PvP. We have a lot of things, coming out here. So thanks for watching.